really appreciate it. I was going to tell you to shut your you know to shut up.
Washington got all our olive is all cleaned up.
We were doing so well. And
Wow.
Right.
My days left to it.
Oh,
Till summer break.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm retiring.
Yeah. Wow. Good for you.
Yeah, probably
Well,
does.
that's
Hey, Shane.
entire right when school starts.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna put you right next to the. I'm gonna put you right next to the mayor.
Strategically planned. I'll have everybody ready.
This is
More than
Shane.
They're not up here much anyway.
Sorry, I was telling Corbett you were there.
I just thought.
This is more conducive to a public
forum. Ben. No Thursday or next Tuesday or whatever. That's all.
He can if he wants.
I didn't expect details.
He can call me. I can look him into.
He said this is city.
Yeah. He can, but he can certainly call me if he wants.
Yeah. Call this meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Dietz. Augenbach.
Here.
Jackson. Here. Gelfand.
Here.
Reesinger.
Here. Any announcements?
Well,
Well,
welcome.
we did have an executive session.
The executive session was of the joint board, so we'll also need to announce that next time. Other than that, welcome to the DuBois Auditorium. We're excited to have this meeting, and I think it's, I don't know, funny that we moved here so there'd be more space and there's not that many people, but great. Thank you for being here. I hope that the sound issues are fixed.
Can everybody hear us? Good. Consent agenda. Financials, manager's update.
Okay, at the last meeting, I guess it was last joint meeting, there was some question as to what all we're working on, and a question as to why we spend so much time on the fire study, for instance, rather than all the other things. And although I can see why you have that perspective from the public, I also wanted to take a moment to essentially give a manager's report of all the many things that we're currently managing through. And so bear with me as I just blow through a list of about 50 things that we're working on, and not just manager, but staff generally speaking, just so that the board is completely aware of all the things that we are working on, as well as the public. First of all, I'll start off with grants. There are quite a few grants that we're currently managing and or applying for. We're actively managing multiple phases of STAMP, an industrial job ARC grant, coordinating with Penn Highlands on their ARC grant, managing CDBG funds, a RACP for Main Street, a RACP for Emergency Services Building, a RACP for the Municipal Building, a RACP for Recreational, several green light goes for both communities, I think 3 for each. Projects related to Kiwanis Trail, a multimodal application. We're going to be applying for an Office of the State Fire Commissioner grant, and we just applied for a small water and sewer grant. In terms of consolidation tasks, we've been working with the DCD on financial processes and recommendations. We got an initial list of those about a week ago, and we'll be meeting with the DCD next Monday in order to go over them in more detail. But there's quite a few financial recommendations that they've made. In terms of insurance, we've been working with the insurance carrier in order to come up with a consolidation strategy on the policies. We have been working with the Pennsylvania Economy League on the new taxes, new tax structure and budget. We're preparing for all of the title and deed transfers, merging the zoning and land use ordinances. Actually, where the RFP I think comes down today on the recodification. We'll be analyzing those results and coming back to you next week with a recommendation on who to go with for that. Been working with the PUC to decommission, since the city will now expand the entire borders of the service area, so we won't need to be regulated by the PUC. We've been working to update fee schedules and consolidate forms, do an inventory, asset and appraisal, figure out the authorities and commissions in the new city, of course work on collective bargaining for the police as well as non-uniform, preparing for registering with Department of State, Department of Labor, Department of Revenue, and the IRS with the new EIN number of the new city, preparing for the lockbox, the banking consolidation, pension consolidation, filling vacancies and training board members. We're also thinking on a consolidation celebration event in the new year. Of course, there's the constant organizational chart and staffing restructure and the fire study. In terms of HR, we found some deficiencies, I guess I would say, there, and we're working on updating everyone's I-9s, eventually doing an employee satisfaction survey, coming up with a document digitization and destruction project, getting everyone on the same payroll system, on the same timekeeping system, updating training records and SOPs, reviewing a bunch of different job descriptions and reallocating people's time, merging the employee manual, and so forth. You can see there's a lot that we're doing internally as well. Fiscal, we're preparing for 2024 audit. We're cleaning up the 2023, or as a result of the 2023 audit, we're changing some bookkeeping practices, working on constant reports, updating policies, record management storage, utility manual training, understanding the fund relationship and trying to get you a good cost allocation plan in place, as well as pooling cash so that you can maximize your interest rates. Public Works, I'll let Scott update you on all of those. There's about a dozen projects I'm aware of, and probably more. We are preparing information technologies to consolidate the servers of the two communities, the email systems, the websites, the network consolidation, the phone system, the door controllers, security cameras, and implementing a system that now records all of the emails that come in and out to make it easier to respond to no requests and have digital backup. We're also building out and engineering a different fiber network as well. I'll let the chief speak to all the police things if he wishes. Planning and zoning, same thing. There's a dozen things that I'm aware of that they're working on. And then in terms of special projects, there's the ongoing Chapter 94 reporting and CCR reporting. We've been meeting with PA Downtown Center on Main Street project and Elm Street. There's kind of the ongoing work that we've been doing related to advocacy for keeping the DuBois campus. There's been the moving of the meetings, selling of surplus vehicles, the land swap, timber sale, ball field stuff, community days, the community and economic development ecosystem plan, and some board training and stuff. So all of that to say, we are doing a lot, and we are not only working on the fire study. We are working on a lot of things to prepare this community for the consolidation of the two entities. At this time, I'd ask if there's any questions. I know I blew through that really fast because I just wanted to get it all out there, and now if there's any questions from the board, I guess starting with the city and then moving on to the township since most of them are here, as to what we're working on, any specific questions. And if there's anything we missed.
I don't see any.
It's Scott, Zach, Chris, did any of you want to add what you're working on, or? Okay. Yeah, I know. Like just consolidating your two evidence rooms is a project in itself, so.
Yes, so that's about halfway.
You're good?
The evidence room at the township's been fully inventory purged. Still waiting on some disposals. We did dispose of a lot of our evidence in an incinerator about a month ago. The city's in the process of inventorying and purging their evidence room, so that's a big task. We're hoping to have that all done by the time the new evidence room is built in the garage, so we can more or less merge them both together. So that's the biggest project, I think, liability-wise for the police department, just inventorying that. So we're ahead of schedule. We have a lot of other projects, MOPEC, the conversion of both departments. I spoke to them. Should be an easy transition once we get the new ORI. I've also talked to PSP Clean on getting that ORI, so everything's in the process. Moving along
Good. Anything?
We can start off with, we're doing the hydrant flushing. It started Sunday night, going around the clock. The Sandy Township part of it's getting flushed as we do those areas with those crews. We're opening up a lot of cross drains and everything from the winter out in Sebula, doing a lot of heavy road maintenance, repairs down on Jeffers Street, down by Alvitro's, landscaping. We wrapped up the sewer installation portion of Sherman Avenue, but we have to restore that road, so that'll be getting shut down again here pretty soon. We have a bunch of HOP permits out there from water breaks on state roads from the winter, which we have to repair right away. There's a lot of stuff going on. The other thing is the water will not be on in all the bathrooms in the parks and the ball fields until our weather stays above 32 degrees. It's just common sense, and you have to deal with it. Baseball shouldn't start in the 1st of March, but that's just my own opinion. So that's a little bit of it in a nutshell.
Zach, anything?
Got my new helper, starting to train him when he's available to come over because he's still training someone to step into his place. Permits are starting to pick up very swiftly.
You've got to be busy
So,
with just that.
Yeah, and I'm training my helper with, how to intake them and start processing them. So it's still learning with both, working with two sets of ordinances. You bounce back and forth, and it gets time consuming sometimes, so.
Do they use the same universal code 2018 as we do?
Yeah, no, they don't have that.
Okay. Oh, so you're
For
working on
property
two-
maintenance?
Yeah.
No, they don't have that.
They don't have that. Oh, so you're working two different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Extra complicated.
Chief Counsel, you have anything?
I'm still evaluating the results of the fire study. I think 7 out of the 9 host companies have met to talk about it. Tonight will be the first time the DuBois Fire Department as a group meets. They meet tonight at 7:30. That'll be our first time as a department board discussing it. Still getting feedback from everybody on that. So.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, let's go back to the financials. Can I have a motion to pass the consent agenda financials?
Motion.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any questions on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Dietz. Yes. Augenbaum.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. Let's go on to new business. Authorization for timber sales, Generation Forestry. Kenny, if you would, please.
Hi all, I'm Kenny Kane from Generations Forestry. We're the forest management company that works for the city managing the watershed. So we have prepared our Compartment 1 2025 timber sale, which would be the twin to our 2024 timber sale that we did last year. So we delayed that harvest due to the land swap that was going on with the Game Commission. So we had to speed up one and hold back on the other. And also with I'll say our good timing and good fortune and our success in 2023 and 2024, there really was no financial need to to push along that other sale, so we delayed it for 2025. So with that, we have it marked and ready to, get the prospectus prepared and get put out for bid. I'll say in the last 72 hours, I changed my mind of saying, it needs to be done, it needs to be put out for bid. I wouldn't say we should do it tomorrow. With everyone's watching the news, seeing what's going on with the tariffs, and that is a big impact to the Pennsylvania hardwoods industry. 80% of what we produce in Pennsylvania gets exported, predominantly to Asia. So, this has a role in it. I think the dust just needs to settle. And really, we still have a week or two of office work of preparing the prospectus, getting things ready. We're going to do a little cooperation work with the Game Commission and the State Forest because they border us on each side. So working with them of road right-of-ways and usages there, utilizing some landings, but it's a very good team effort because we did the same with them last year as well. So everyone's on board working together. So really it would be looking for the authorization to put the 2025 Compartment 1 timber sale out, so that is along Anderson Creek Road, bordering the state forest land, if anyone needed to know where it was. So is there any questions on it first I should ask?
Has the land swap, the land that we swapped with the state, has that been timbered? Or
Yes, that is done, and we're just waiting on
Okay.
a week of good weather to get it all closed out. It's like 99% done, just need a few good dry days to get the proper closeout work done. Yeah, how about it? Now, those couple 70-degree days spoiled us. So now it's a real spring here. But yeah, that is 99% done. And met with one of the foresters from the Game Commission, and they're ecstatic with how it looks. So it's great.
What a great deal for us.
Yes, it's been a great deal. There's deer, elk, turkey, grouse. I've seen everything in there during the whole process. So it's been a success for everyone.
And this is part of the larger forestry plan that was approved.
Yes.
Previously.
Yep. This is part of the plan that's been going for 10 years. So this stand was thinned. I was still in college, so in 2011, this stand was thinned, and then we did a shelterwood harvest in 2018 that Collins Pine bought. So, and through that process, this was a #1 tour stop for Penn State forestry classes. We brought their silviculture class out there to show how to manage an oak forest. So we had, I think, about a half dozen tours through there, throughout the 10 years. When I was a student there, which was pretty cool, as I was the one marking on it, and then got to go back as a student, and then got to give the tours myself. So it's truly a textbook example of forest management. Yeah, so it's not like a new willy-nilly, pulling something out of the hat. This is something we've been planning for a decade.
Thank you.
Great.
questions for Kenny?
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I would ask for a motion to authorize the timber sale.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any questions on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. We have one person that signed up for public comments. That'd be Teresa Simplesio. It's your turn. Go ahead.
There is one thing I didn't put on here, because I didn't think of it until Ben brought it up, but the venue, did you say it's only going to be here a couple months, or?
You want me to?
Yeah, go ahead. You said it.
Sure. So we are locked in to have the public meetings for the city's work session / regular meetings on the Mondays here, and the joint board meetings on Wednesdays for the months of April and May. To some extent, we're waiting beyond that to see where we're at with the new city council chambers. If it looks like the construction is reasonably done and ready to move there, then I think we might just do that to save on money. But I'm not committing one way or the other past May, because I just don't know. You know how construction can change rather suddenly.
And did you say what the cost was? You may have said it at a previous meeting.
Yeah, so, and that's part of the discussion. It's $75 per meeting, which we have already paid, I believe, or I believe it was in tonight's packet for this meeting and next week's meeting. However, there's also a technology fee beyond that, and so we don't know what that will be yet, and that's one of the things that I'm thinking. If it really is like $75, probably just stay here for the rest of the year, but if it's more than that, then I don't know.
And how does that work with the joint? Does Sandy pay one time, the city pays, or is that split, or how do you, I mean, city council meetings, the city will pay for, I assume, but
Right.
when it's joint, do you alternate, do you split, I guess?
I'm not sure that it's worth, I've made this analogy before, and I hope that it works. It feels like these two communities are about to get married. And why quibble over who's going to pay for dinner a week before you get married? You're about to have a joint bank account, and so, no, I don't really envision probably bothering trying to divide a couple $100 up.
I didn't know legally you had to do that. I didn't.
No, I don't.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I didn't know.
But I still appreciate the opportunity to say something about that, because because the two communities are consolidating. There's a lot of really technical bookkeeping we could do to track every single minute that people spend on one community or the other in order to cost allocate their time and resources and split bills and something like that. But I just don't see the value in spending the time on that because we are consolidating, and that is our focus.
And then what I had wrote down there was the SOAR plan. Maybe Scott, this is you. I think it was back in October, November when we paid that fine. The city had paid the fine and was paid assuming June. Is that still on track for that to be done in June? Will the city be?
No, we're still looking to have process flow by the end of July. And that's what that's been. It's not final completion of all the paint and the trim and everything. Process flow to the creek by the end of July into August. That's where we're at right now.
So you don't think there'll be more fines incurred?
You don't know what happens tomorrow. We have weather like we had this weekend. That's a serious setback.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Council comments.
I'm good, thank you.
I'm good, thank you.
Nothing for me tonight.
Shane, any comments?
Nothing here, thank you.
Oh, thank you. I have one, of course, I'm going to bring up. The trees came in today. We have 51 trees to plant. 27 of them are going to go into containers that are on this Long Avenue and Brady Street. And the other ones are going to go mostly in the park. Some of them, one on Maple Avenue and around. 3 at the hospital. We're asking for help, 9 o'clock Saturday morning at the city building. The holes are dug, the dirt's sitting around them, you put the tree in, you push the dirt in, you stomp it down, you put some mulch on it, you're done. Very easy, much easier than it's been in the past. So anybody that can help, let me know, okay? It's a very nice, rewarding project. Thank you. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second. Properly moved and second. Any questions on that motion? Never had any questions on this motion yet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Ironically, the motion to adjourn is not debatable.